Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Advancement Center. Welcome to the world of magic and miracles, the place that we always welcome you to, the place that's has no location. It's everywhere in every field. Welcome to hypersonic magic, that power that produces a field that enlivens everything. And welcome to your dynamic reality, the one that you've created of many, many, many that are outside of this physical dimension and at the same time inside of it. I want to pass on something that was passed on to me having to do with our bodies and things that we might be suffering. And that's for everybody in every situation. And that is when you experience something, just know that it doesn't belong to you. And just by knowing that, everything changes. It's one of those communications that shifts everything. And there's nothing to do. It's like having a bill that came due and someone comes and says, oh, that doesn't belong to you. And your whole system just softens and smiles. So hold on to that knowing and know that it doesn't belong to you. And you can tell it to piss off or whatever you want to say. But once you step into that reality, it's done. And it isn't necessarily saying how the circumstances will play out beyond that, but it doesn't belong to you. I've had a tremendous week, as I always do, and I'm filled with joy for many reasons as I continue to expand and travel and change and grow and connect to my Creator in more and more of the moments of my life, leaving me with the feeling of being beyond everything and yet able to support everyone. So there was a woman at our club where I teach tennis who's had some health problems and was being given a diagnosis and having to go through chemotherapy and was now in hospice. And I know her and I've been around her quite a few years now, but I wouldn't say she was a personal friend, but someone who was close to her and wanted me to come with her to visit her in hospice. And I said, sure. And so I went. And of course, her physical appearance has changed dramatically. And that seems to have the biggest impact on people who would go visit her, but I saw the light in her eyes, and I began to tell the people later, after spending that time with her, that I saw heaven in her eyes. And through that communication with different people who knew I had gone and sharing that awareness of someone who you would think could not transmit that according to the human system, they begin to express their own experiences of magic. One woman expressing to me how she travels when she sleeps. And I said, yes, we all do. And she said, no, when I come back, I don't know where I am. And I said, yes, most times we don't. And then she said, no, when I come back, I don't have a heartbeat and I don't have a pulse. And I said, that's okay. And it was something that she probably would have never said to me, or I don't know who to, had that not been the conversation about her friend who was in hospice. And another woman I spoke to, I was trying to explain how what I experienced was a being sitting at the right hand of their creator. And I didn't know which words to use to communicate that. And as I was looking for the words, she said, oh, she was close to her origin. And I just smiled and said, yes, but I never thought I would hear that from someone else. So there's a connection with all that's happening through this one person that is opening the way for many to express what they already know. And that's what happens every day in some form or another. There's something being transmitted, something being received, something being orchestrated, set up to take you further into the world of your creator and into more of who you are, filling you up with so much that it overflows and pours off of you into anyone who enters your field. It's massive. And so I wrote this song because of that visit. When you came into the world with the angels by your side, I saw heaven in your eyes. I saw heaven in your eyes. As that young, precious child, when you looked up at the sky, I saw heaven in your eyes. I saw heaven in your eyes. On the day of your wedding, as the groom or as the bride, I saw heaven in your eyes. I saw heaven in your eyes. There were many times along this road called life that I watched you go through all those ups and downs. But every time you fell, you got back on your feet and found yourself right back on solid ground. And now you're at the end with the angels by your side, and I am seeing heaven in your eyes. Going back to the place from where it all began, and I can see the heaven in your eyes. It seems that it's the end, but now you just begin, and now you're seeing heaven in our eyes. Yes, you can see the heaven in our eyes. Because of where you are, there's heaven in our eyes. Expansion. We come into the physical world. Our designation is of a child. We open up our physical eyes and soon deliver our first smile. As we get older, we learn to talk. We learn how to stand. We learn how to walk. We learn how to eat. It's mother's first milk. The love in our eyes makes the whole world melt. We continue to grow, a toddler, our name. Time to start running things. Time to master this game. There's no stopping us now. We're moving so fast. Now we're a teenager, the child in the past. Evolving, it's like breathing in and out. It's the nature of all things. There is simply no doubt. Now we're an adult. Everything keeps on growing. We're changing, experiencing. We're learning. We're knowing. 100 more years of this journey we have, this pattern of growing. It all goes so fast. There's laughing and crying, unforgettable moments along the way. So many experiences, too many to say. There's love, there's hate, there's joy, and there's fear. Too many emotions, all held in your tears. Day after day and year after year, we walk this life's journey, the purpose so clear. To grow as a human, to be better each day, to care for the others who are going the same way. The journey begins with the opening of your eyes. For each day you are new, each day a surprise. It ends in the physical when your eyes are closed. Will you open them again? No one really knows. You leave, you come back. It's up to you to decide if you have more to do here or if something new you must try. The journey of the spirit you is exactly the same, but there's no birth and no death to enter this game. But the path and the journey are all about growth, about expansion, awareness, evolving, and more growth. Your spirit goes through the same process of expanding and growing, experiences that it wants to change and gain knowing. It starts as a child to adulthood, it is going, and nothing will stop it from learning and growing. Every experience is given for its growth. In the world of spirit, it's 1,000,000,000 years old. What I'm sharing with you is a perspective, you see. I'm painting a picture of how I see you and me. From birth and no death, from birth and no birth, from death to no death, the physical, the spirit, within every breath. It's all about expansion. Take nothing as a personal attack. You put in all in motion, for it was experience you lacked. So grow and grow, more experiences will come. Some you will like and others you will shun. But they all are for you, like a sunflower to the light. You are reaching for expansion. until your eyes close at night. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And you and I were there. And the Spirit is still hovering over all that has been created. And you and I are still there. And it is this beginning that is before all things. It is the root of all things. And it is what or where all things arrive from. There was nothing before it, and everything that has been done, that is being done, arises from this one Spirit. Before all the plans of man, of extraterrestrials, of angels, or of masters, there was one. And we are a part of that one. And although that one has been broken up into many, we are still a part of that one. And we were there at the beginningless beginning. We were there at the middleless middle, and we will be there at the never-ending ending. For He, you and I, were in the beginning with God. All things were made through us, and without us, nothing was made that was made. In us was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. I often wonder about the enormity of what everything is. I have experienced many things and come to my own awareness of what this existence is. There has been much wisdom passed on through others, and there has been a greater delivery of that wisdom from those that are not informed, from higher consciousness, and from Source itself. There are many ways to look at this existence, and the way that resonates with you creates your world and creates your dynamic reality. The lens through which you look produces the world that you exist in and coexist with, which includes all those things that enter and exit your created dynamic reality. None are right or wrong, and all are a part of the whole. The hard part is to remain open to all the possibilities of the origin and makeup of this incomprehensible existence. So that even though one may be hardwired into one aspect of the truth of this existence, there are many influences and layers of the truth that must be allowed their freedom of expression and possible acceptance in the world that you have created. Like everything in creation, the picture, the understanding, the awareness is ever evolving, ever expanding, ever growing, and ever changing. So that just when you think you have grasped an understanding, something new appears with the potential to make your understanding old news. It's quite a conundrum. Did we come here to assist, to help others remember who they are? Did we come here to experience this physical dimension for our own growth and expansion? Or did we come here to do a little of both? Or is there something that we came here for that is neither of these two things? The one thing that I know, which no one else has to know, for each one comes to know what it is for them to know. is that we are all one. We have all come from the same place, and we are all a part of what many call the Creator, the Source, the One Energy, or some form of the name God. I use these names, but in the feeling of my union with this being, this force, this energy, the ultimate sense of this being remains nameless. So for me, there is no them or they. There's only an illusion of them or they. And as unique individuated pieces of the whole, it appears that we are separate. That's how we get right and wrong, good and bad, black and white. All those things are based on comparisons that are made to appear real because of the creation of individuated, unique pieces. It is a perfect double-edged sword, for the individuated pieces give rise to separation, and the separation gives rise to comparison. So uniqueness is a gift, and so is separation. But without seeing the bigger picture, those two things can lead to judgment and then war. This knowing shapes my world, and from that world, I create other dynamic realities to exist within. It's also hard to believe that this physical reality is not the only reality. In truth, it is just one reality that was created for a manifold purpose. But this reality so dominates this aspect of us that it easily feels like this is all there is, and that what goes on here in our physical world is the most important thing, and in some cases, all that matters. I have transcended this reality of the physical world. And in my world, it does not matter if you have or never will transcend it, for it does not change what I know that you are. If you are at peace and happy, you have transcended what you needed to transcend. In the place of my knowing, we have never not been free. But I understand in this physical aspect of us, we see the lack of freedom and we want it for all people. So here in this physical incarnation, it is natural to want freedom and speak of achieving it. But in my world, the place where I live, that world does not exist. It would be unnecessary to have a word to describe what you already are. So it would appear that it is in the world of matter, no matter what planet you live upon, that these wars upon freedom are played out. These are the wars for the physical freedom that is lacking in the physical plane. They are human to human wars, intergalactic being to human wars, as well as a combination of the two. It appears that these wars are for deciding between the good and the bad and the right and the wrong, but they are far more than that. That's just one of the many layers that these wars are connected to. In my world, the world wars are a metaphor of our own inner transformation. For no matter what the outcome and the changes that come from the outcome of those changes, you will still have to look within to find your peace and happiness. It appears that at this time, it is time to end the experience of control and manipulation for those that choose to no longer be under the rules of that game, a game that you have been playing also, and that you will now have to stop as well. For as I said before, there is no we and they. All are doing the same things as they see others doing. The others just may be doing it on a larger scale. We are all, every one of us, guilty of controlling and manipulating others. Let he who is not guilty of this throw the first stone, fire the first shot, drop the first bomb, say the first word in judgment. In this place that I live, there is no animosity, so the observations do not come with anger or hostility. Your anger against the we is anger against yourself. You must find a way to step into the bigger picture of all that is happening. Otherwise, the you that is they will become the they that is their you. This has been an ever-repeating cycle that is soon about to end. For this is the war that is on the inside of us. The war that will never go away, no matter how much money, how beautiful the world is, or how many of the so-called bad people they take away. For what needs to be removed is inside of us. For if you were the only person on the planet and everything appeared perfect outside of you, the war inside of you would rage on. This is what everything outside of you has come to do for you. It has come to end the war that rages inside of you. It has come to give you the peace that passes all understanding, a peace with everything and everyone, and to take you into the world where I live, where there is never, where is and never can be any war or any suffering. The only way to truly be free in this physical world of rules, laws, and limitations is to come into this world that I am speaking about. The more I discover what I know, the more I discover how I am not from here. For my way of seeing and my way of being are not in any way based on a human, on being a human. This is a gift for me to have discovered with crystal clear clarity. So I'm very grateful to be able to express it at this time, at this moment. I do not desire to impose my world on anyone, and in truth, I know that I cannot, but rather to show the existence of another way that comes from another awareness, from another view, from my home, that place where you are once again hovering over the face of the waters, observing your creation and saying, "Let there be light." And without any judgment, you will change everything that needs to be changed. And there will be a new day and a new evening once again. In the beginning, you were there, and you are still there now. Cheers to us all as we each find our own way back home. I see heaven in your eyes. I see heaven in your eyes. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Thank you for listening. I am your friend. I am David.